Alright guys, welcome back to Trap Zone, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to care for this plant, a Sarracenia. Okay, so one thing to know about Sarracenias is that they're one of the easiest plants to take care of if you take care of them right. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you everything from watering, soil, sunlight, and tips and tricks. The first thing I'm going to be covering about Sarracenias is watering. So watering, I recommend using the tray method like this. So basically it's when you put water inside a tray and put the plant inside the tray. But for this to work, you want to make sure that at the bottom it has little drainage holes right here to absorb the water. Another thing to know about these plants is that, this applies for all carnivorous plants. All carnivorous plants need either reverse osmosis water, distilled water, or purified water. And from the brand that you get your water from, make sure it doesn't say anything like minerals added for taste or electrolytes added, nothing like that. Once you have your clean water, you can go ahead and put the plant inside the tray to make sure it absorbs the water it needs. And also, another thing I recommend is if you have multiple plants, it's best to put them all in one big tray like this to keep things organized and looking clean. The water that I recommend and has worked best for me is Aquafina. I have been using it for about a year now, and no plant has died, so that's a good thing. And that means that it definitely works. Another thing that I'll be talking about is soil or potting mix, whatever you want to call it. The soil mix that I use for carnage and venom, I use this sphagnum moss mixed with perlite. I use a 50-50 ratio, and make sure that it again, it has no nutrients, minerals, fertilizer, anything like that, because fertilizer can burn the roots. As you can see for Scyther here, he has a different mix. He has peat moss mixed with perlite. Alright guys, so right here I'm going to show off the specific brands for my potting mix that I use. So for my sphagnum moss, I use this brand. You could get it from Lowe's, Home Depot, places like that. And for my perlite, I use this brand. You could also get it from either Lowe's or Home Depot. And once again, I mix this and this at a 50% ratio. Also, if you decide to store your mix, I like to store mine in a bucket like this, and then I like to put a bag over it like this. Just make sure when you store it, it's not left moist or anything like that, because it could build up mold. Alright, now that we've covered soil mix, we're gonna talk about sun. As you can see, the setup for my plants, it's very sunny, it's direct sunlight, and they need about 4 to 6 hours of direct sun. If you live in a place where it's not very sunny, and it's very foggy, cloudy, whatever, then you have the option to buy a really strong grow light off Amazon or anywhere online, and you could grow them indoors. Now, since we're talking about Sarracenias, in this case they need direct sunlight, but not all carnivorous plants need direct sunlight. For example, a plant that does not need direct sunlight is a Nepenthes. They can do just fine behind a sunny window because they need indirect sunlight. But if they do get some direct sunlight, then they should be okay. Now let's talk about dormancy. Dormancy is a period during winter when your plants start to look as if they're dying and their pictures start dying back, just like this. Now, right now, it's the beginning of summer, so it's kind of a long way from dormancy, so you don't have to worry about that. But once the time comes, your plants will start to look like they're dying. But it's completely normal because dormancy is extremely important for the plant's health. When your plants are dormant, you shouldn't use the tray method because it could rot their roots. Instead, it's better to just lightly mist them every day and keep their soil mostly damp. Now that we've covered dormancy, let's talk about setup. Your setup is pretty simple. You just gotta get the right size of pot, and you know it's the right size based off when you repot the plant. You have to check the size of the roots, and based off that, you can decide how big the pot needs to be. And you could also have them set up with other plants, like how I have carnage here with other plants. Now that I've covered all of that, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or anything that I missed, please leave them in the comments, or anything that I got wrong, and whatever plant care guide you guys want to see next. Please like and subscribe and share this video with someone who's interested in plants. Thank you. Bye.